So today, the first thing we're going to look at is one thing that I call dare to be alone. I dare you to be alone, but not lonely. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you if this is your first time of visiting this channel, and thank you if you're returning as well. Thank you for always coming back to listen to us. In our last 2 or 3 videos, we've been talking about how to rediscover yourself, what you do to rediscover yourself, why you need to rediscover yourself. Today, I've got a surprise for you. I've got a sister of mine here. She will tell us how she did the journey to rediscovery. And I'm sure you're going to enjoy her. Thank you and enjoy listening to her.
Thank you, Sister Funke, for having me on your channel. It's a pleasure and a privilege. I would just like to share my situation or what I went through briefly. I come from a family of 5. I'm the 4th born. Just giving you a little bit background about who and what I am. I have two brothers and 2 sisters, and I got married in the 90s. I've got 3 children, 2 girls and a boy. They're now young ladies and a young gentleman. Growing up, I was quite sheltered because of the position that I am in the family, being the 4th. I had things done for me quite a lot, and therefore I was not streetwise, so to speak. So when I did get married, I found it as a kind of a shock to my system. And it was like going into the wolves den, so to speak. I was married for about 13 years. And when I reached the age of 40, my marriage crumbled, so to speak. When this happened, it was very difficult for me because I did not really have an identity of my own. Apart from me being a mother to my children, the wife of my husband, I had nothing else. Of course, my profession, because I'm a nurse. So I had to sit down after the marriage and think to myself, what do I want to do with myself? Who am I? What are my aspirations? That was quite pitiful that I didn't really have an identity outside of the marriage. But I quickly learned that it was time for me to do something. Hence, I got my priorities right. I decided that I didn't want to do nights anymore. I decided I didn't want to work weekends anymore. And I decided to do a few courses that allowed me to be able to do other things, such as being a research nurse. Now, when your marriage ends, it's like a death. It's a loss. It's difficult for anyone to say, oh, just get over it. No, it takes time. And we're all different. But what is important is you do not stay too long moping, being sad, or chasing after something that is not there. For example, if you come to tell me your story that your marriage ended or you had an abusive relationship, you tell me the first time, you tell me the second time, you tell me the third time, it gets a bit cumbersome, it gets repetitive. The next thing I'll ask you is, what do you want to do from there? Where are you going from there? Which is what we as women have to do. It is difficult, and I'm not taking that away. It is a very tumultuous time. It is a time that you think about and you think, wow. And then also another thing that is very important is that we have to forgive ourselves. You've got to forgive yourself that you got yourself into such a rut. You've got to forgive yourself that maybe you weren't the best mother that you could be to your kids, because you can only look after your children when you yourself are well. Hence the reason why your mental health, your you as a person, you've got to be as whole as possible before you can actually be productive. It is important that when you go through this kind of thing, you talk to somebody. Don't just leave everything in. And there is a stigma to being a divorcee or a single parent. Guess what? When people don't want to talk to you, when people think, oh, you're going to steal their husband, therefore they don't want you coming around them, let them go. They're not worth it. And even the marriage that they're thinking that you're going to steal, how good is that marriage? So don't beat yourself up that your marriage didn't work. Don't feel that this is the end of the world. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you for listening to me.
Oh, thank you all for listening. What can I say? You've heard my sister talk about the journey to rediscovery. She's talked about change of pattern, work pattern. She talked about change of profession. She talked about change of lifestyle itself. And she actually talked about letting people go. Remember, in the videos that I've done, I've talked about loving yourself, and also sometimes letting people go. Because sometimes there are people, there are changes that you need to make in lifestyle. What can I say? Thank you for coming back to our channel. Subscribe, comment, click the bell icon so that when we release a new video, you get the notification straight away. Thank you. God bless you. Bye-bye.